We started the day with the Speaker of the House and the Republican leader in the Senate taking on the topic of the KKK and, by extension, Donald Trump. They are the Republican establishment. As the New York Times, forgive me, would ask, wither the Republican establishment at long last?
Yeah, but listen, I talked to folks today who have been involved in previous presidential campaigns. Ken Melman, a former campaign director, former RNC director, put out the same message about the KKK. And I don't know that we've ever gone into a Super Tuesday where someone was going to clinch the nomination on the heels of his KKK scandal, right? So I think that this is an example of where there is legitimate concern about the Senate and the House tonight. This is no longer about sort of a pathetic or impotent establishment. This is now about the rest of the people that govern under the banner of the Republican Party. And that's where it's a lot more serious than just, you know, sort of a withering class of people in no longer existing
But since the pundit world was so wrong about Donald Trump's electability in the presidential race, couldn't the pundit class and the Republican establishment also be wrong about how badly he would lose in a general and what the down ticket effect?
They could be, and I think it's his behavior and temperament that he has displayed. I mean, there's a lot of hope that in the sort of in the Midwest, where his support is very robust, that he could actually bring new voters into the electorate. But you can't do that if you're acting ambivalent about just how abhorrent the KKK endorsement would have been.
And it does raise the question, what is this party about? What is the Republican Party about now? If its front runner takes positions that are so wildly at odds with those of the Republican establishment. I mean, and obviously the KKK thing, but on entitlements, on military involvement overseas, on
immigration, on a Muslim ban,
the whole range of issues.
Right.
He simply differs from the party on free trade. I mean, it's.
But I think the party could grapple with a policy debate. That's not what we're having. We're having a wall-to-wall, 24/7 scandal where the Speaker of the House and the Senate majority in the Republican Party has to go before cameras and disavow the KKK. It is far more dire, you know, and frankly, other than Bernie Sanders, there's not a lot of message that centers around policy on either side. So that's not where we are. That I think we could figure out. There's strategery for that, Gene, but this is a totally different.
I heard a real speculation today from very informed people that at least one Republican Senate incumbent, if given the choice, might publicly endorse Hillary Clinton.
A Republican incumbent
senator.
Wow.
There's at least one that I've heard that could end up doing that, making that choice. Not because they want to, but because they need to send that message. Look, there's a bunch of them running for re-election in blue states.
Yeah.
Okay?
2010 was a good year, but
that's
now
right.
That's due, because it's a 6-year term.
Right. So that's what's going on here. And it is just on the day that the Republican frontrunner might cement his lead. But by the way, let's go back to this. This is about delegates tonight. And we could have 3 candidates get over 100 delegates tonight. Which, by the way, also is a good night for Donald Trump. In an odd way. Donald Trump could romp, and it's a good night for him, or Donald Trump could make it so neither Cruz or Rubio have a bad night, and both stick around. And we know what that means come March 15th.
Speaking of stick around, I was just about to ask the same of you.